Are we here? Okay, we're live on that. Cool, we're live over there. Let me press the record button. And boom, are we recording? We are recording. Let's go. Are here, episode 8 with the Opportunity Zone. I got Mr. Blake Hawkins, Freedom Hawk, aka I'm here, Houston, Rohail Ula with Houston Property Guys, back from Alaska.
Let's go.
We're here, and today we're talking about being present.
Being present.
Being present.
Some zen shit, man.
Some zen shit.
Get my monk on.
They get the monk, dude. Because sometimes you just have to, bro. Like, I think that is the way to approach a quality life, right? So we're gonna talk about it in 2 different perspectives in terms of being present. Blake's been hustling his ass off. He's been in grind mode, and I kind of just got back from my sabbatical. Right, I was in Alaska for 5 days. I saw some of the most beautiful nature that God's ever created. It was untouched. It was pure. And the biggest realization I had, Blake, was I need to be more present. Right? Somebody asked me, they're like, Rohail, would you rather be present with a client knowing that this meeting has to end in 15 minutes and you have to be somewhere else?
Right. Or
are you going to focus on getting to that meeting on time? And I told him, I was like, look, dude, I'm all about texting the next guy, hey, man, I'm going to be 15, 20 minutes late because I'd rather be present and finish up with that client. And then when you're transparent and you let that client in front of you know that, hey, I have an appointment at this time, they'll also on their end try to wrap it up and make sure we get to the goal quickly.
Right.
Whether it's doing a lease, whether it's buying a home, whatever the case may be. Right? So quality over quantity, that's how I look at it.
No, man, that's the truth. But, you know, how challenging is that?
It's challenging as fuck.
Dude, you know, and I was actually thinking about that last night. I was at home and I was like, dude, I have a hard time being present. Yeah. I'm always thinking about like the next thing, right? I don't really think about the past a whole lot. I mean, there are times when I'm self-reflect. Yeah. But mostly it's the future.
Yeah.
I gotta do this. I gotta do that.
Yeah.
I hope this, and then it's like, I hope this goes well. But what if it doesn't go well? And then you start trying to come up with like contingency plans and backup plans, and like it can be challenging, man. You know, but what I've noticed is when I am present and I am kind of like centered or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm actually more productive too. Like the results are actually even better, and it's more fluid. It has more of a flow. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I think things are meant to happen when you are in the present.
Right, I agree.
Right? Like, there are moments where I will be present in the sense of saying hi to someone. Like, because when someone's in a rush, normal people, when you're in a rush and you have to be somewhere, it's like, fuck everyone.
Yeah,
like,
for
you just need to get there.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But there have been times where, I was in a rush, but just because I said hi to somebody, it kind of changed the scope. Meeting that person was meant to be.
Absolutely.
Right? Whether it was a career move, whether it was, them finding me a deal, whether it was them turning into my client, whether it's them becoming a real estate agent and wanting to join HPG, which, by the way, we're going to be a brokerage starting December. So
nice,
all my hot agents that want to wear the HPG name, hit me up. We're here.
Come on.
So, but anyway, Blake's going to join us too.
Of course, bro.
So let's go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so with that being said, it's all about being in that moment where you're making a difference.
Yeah.
Like, right now, you have a million other things to do. I have a million other things to do. But what are we doing? We're being present. We're talking about this issue, like this, this concept that's very important about being present. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and I think and that's why that's why I think organization is important, because if you time block, it kind of allows you to, I look at time as like blocks of, chunks of blocks, right? Like it's like,
it's a currency.
Yeah, like, okay, here's a block here, I do this, and it kind of allows me to be fully present in that time block. I don't do well without some sort of planner or schedule, because I feel like I'm all over the fucking place.
Absolutely.
So like I like to have like those chunks of time, right? Like this was a chunk of time.
Yeah.
And even if the time changes, it's still a chunk of time, right?
Exactly.
And I just try to focus on that. But it's challenging, man. Outside of work, especially if I'm by myself, that's when I'm like, it's like, well, you start thinking about the future. It's like, and then. So I like to stay busy because I think a lot of it keeps my mind occupied. But
do you have a way of catching yourself? Like, for example, like, sometimes I'll rush shit.
Right.
And I'm just rushing it to get to the next appointment. And then, like, I'll realize that I'm rushing myself because I'll feel anxious.
Yeah.
And I'll tell myself, hey, Rohail, calm the fuck down.
Right.
Take care of this guy to the best of your abilities. He's trusting you. You need to do this with full integrity and do it right. And then you can let the next person know. And again, going back to me texting the next person, hey, or like I'm with you, you're my client. And I'm just like, hey, just give me 1 second, Blake. Let me text my next client, let them know I'm going to be 15 minutes late because I want to make sure we get this done.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
that goes wonders.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. I think from what I've learned about myself is, there are appropriate times to where you need to feel, you might feel anxious, but it's more of like, I got to get shit done.
Yeah.
And it's because there's a deadline, right? Or
Yeah.
or you internally feel like I need to get this task done. It's not really because of any external factors, but it's like I need to get this done, right?
Yeah.
I think those are times like you got to kind of push through. But I think it's easy. We get sucked into the trap of always running around rushing because of external situations, right?
Yeah.
People, things, timelines, whatever it is, outside influences, and clients, whatever. But it's like you said, being present. I'm more productive that way. I actually get better results, like actual monetary results.
Yes.
When I am more centered and more focused, because I believe it's that quality, right? Like before we had this podcast, I had a 42-minute call with a seller. 42-minute call.
Was that scheduled?
No, that was not scheduled. Dude, I was like, I'm gonna make one more call before Rohail gets here.
Yeah.
It happened to be that call.
Yeah.
And I talked to this lady for 42 minutes on the phone, but it was a great conversation.
Yeah.
She told me her life story. She told me, and then it ended with, she gave me 4 different properties that she wants to sell. Hey, let's go. You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
Because there's a trust built up and a rapport built up, right? But that came from me being present. I'll be honest with you, I'm super guilty of those conversations about just getting to the point.
Yeah.
Like, I got time for this shit. Let's go.
Yeah.
So I had to remind myself, because now I got new people on my team and I'm training them the right way. And so when I'm saying to them, I'm like, dude, you got to fucking do this too, because I have a tendency just to like, let's get to the numbers. Let's get to the point. Let's go. And I'm like, dude, like, you can't do that.
No,
not
with everyone.
No. Yeah. Very few people can you do that with.
No.
Very few. Like, I would say 80% of the population, like, and rightfully so, you need to build rapport and actually connect with them.
No, 100%. I think that's one of the most important things, and you and me talked about how it leads to more quality.
Absolutely.
It leads to more quality, and I also feel like it fades out all the other bullshit. Because how many deals do we go through where our time's wasted? A lot.
Dude, it happens, man.
It's part of the game.
Absolutely.
Right? There's definitely clients and people that we run through that are, I wouldn't say necessarily a waste of time. I'm sure there's learning like things with each of them. But sometimes there's bullshit. There's people just trying to get a price out of you, or they're just trying to use you to get a specific answer to a question.
Right.
And in my sense,
tire kickers.
Exactly. And in my sense, and when I'm operating, when I'm present, it fades out those bullshitters.
Right.
Because I'll push that guy back, and that guy had no intent of being useful with our times, and so because I pushed him back, he just didn't even respond, didn't even show up. And he's out of the picture.
What's crazy is I had a person I was training last week. 2 people I was training last week to come on as a possible acquisition person.
Okay.
And so anyway, Saturday night, I'm looking through my Indeed applications, and there was a girl in there that stood out. She's Spanish speaker, sells cars, whatever.
Yeah.
So I call her, great, whatever. She's gonna come in tomorrow. But point is, at that time, I was training 2 other people. And we left Friday with the understanding that I was gonna reach out to them on Sunday evening around 5:30.
Okay.
So we can, basically, I was gonna pick one of them to kind of come on board.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And there was a lady and a guy, and I was like, and then I had the conversation with the Indeed application, applicant. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna call them. If they're really interested, I told them a time frame, they'll reach out to me. It was kind of a test, it was a filter.
Okay.
Right?
I like it.
Versus like me, and goes back to intent, right? What was their intent? The guy reached out. He followed up today, by the way.
Okay.
And I'm gonna call him at 4. The girl who trained for 3 days, full training for 3 days, never heard from her. Dude,
No.
she was like, I'm not upset, right? I don't care because it's
Yeah.
like I'm glad. But I'm like, how do you come in for 3 days of training? How do you and spend all this time and tell me all these things and you don't even like reach out to me?
And just disappear?
It's like, what is that about, right? But it goes back to
Yeah.
intent, right? So it's being present and being. But if I'm not present, I just rush shit and I start calling. It's like, but I was present in the moment. I had time to think, and I was like, no, man, I'm not gonna. They'll reach out to me.
If they want.
Let's focus on the people that actually want to be a part of the team, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And being intentional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think being present it corresponds with being intentional.
I think so too.
There's a big correspondence there.
I think so too. And I think it gives you a lot of information on the current status of what you're working on. So like for example, if I'm here and I'm sitting with you and I'm present and you're a buyer or you're a seller,
Right.
and we're talking numbers, right?
Right.
When we're talking numbers, it's always just finding a solution. That's really what it is.
Absolutely.
Right? So when we're talking numbers and we're finding a solution and I'm being present, there's a higher chance of us reaching that solution than me rushing the process.
Absolutely.
Because when you rush the process, people sense that and there's a little paranoia. There's a little bit of
They feed
friction.
off of that.
Yeah.
They feed
Like,
off of your energy.
Yeah, like this guy doesn't care, he just wants to get the deal done.
Yeah.
Right? So
It's tough, man. You know, it's a challenging thing because, especially in the business that we're in, you know, we get paid when deals get done. So
yeah.
I'm naturally, you know, kind of biased to like, dude, like let's just get the deal done.
I mean, we have to be. I mean, that's how we're trained.
Right.
And that's a part of us making money
It
and
is.
making our living
Yeah.
is closing deals.
Right.
Right. So naturally we are tended to lean that way.
Right.
Right. But again, one of the things that I love and I know you do this too is getting the deal done.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's the best
no
feeling.
matter what it costs.
Best feeling in the world.
Right. So
Yeah.
sometimes like, and I'm not saying that we're advocates or promoters of leaving money on the table.
Right.
Right. But sometimes you got to do it to get the deal done.
Yeah. No.
Right?
Dude, I mean, exactly. I'd rather take something than nothing.
Exactly.
All day.
100%.
All day, man. And yeah, being present, because when you're present, you're more attuned to what your client needs. You're more attuned to what your buyers and sellers need. You're more attuned to like what your team needs, what you need.
Yes.
You're honestly, it's at your that's the optimal level of performance, right? Is being present, being balanced, being centered. Now let's talk about like maybe some ways how can you get more present, right? I mean, you know, for me, I'll tell you, for me is if I'm catching myself not being present, especially during the day, and I'm kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Dude, I need some alone time. I need like 10 minutes to go sit in a fucking room by myself
I agree.
and just chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just chill. And then once I do that, dude, I'm good again, right? Because sometimes when you get caught up and you're on the phone all day, you're talking to people, you're back and forth, it's easy to get dragged around by other external situations. right?
100%. Because, I mean, you're just so caught up in it. And again, to answer your question, how can we be more present, be more aware? I say when you feel anything but happiness.
Yeah.
Right? When you, like, for example, I'm sitting here, I'm present with you, bro, I feel happy.
Right.
You know, I feel happy that we're getting this done. I feel
Absolutely.
happy that we're doing a podcast. I feel happy that I'm doing a live stream with my audience, with your audience. I feel happy that I'm here.
Right.
Right? And that's what being present does. But for example, if I was to sit here and while you're talking, I'm thinking about something depressing going on in my life.
Right.
Bro, I'm not going to be engaged like this.
It's I mean, it's human nature, right?
Exactly.
And it's one of those things, and
we're always thinking about how much we have to do. Like, what do I have to do now? My
Right.
kid's gonna be done over here. Then I have to take them over there.
Right.
What are they gonna eat? Then, when am I gonna eat? And it just becomes an anxiety.
it does. And I think at the end of the day, and like I'm glad we're talking about this because I was thinking about this last night, and it's like, at the end of the day, for me, the best way to be present is just sort of have a fuck it attitude. It sounds bad,
No.
like not that I don't want to do my job or get things done, but
Yeah.
not attached to the outcome.
Yes.
Dude, to me, that's where I need to get better at, right?
Yeah.
Is not being attached to the outcome, because when you're not attached to the outcome, dude, it's real easy to be present and just in the moment.
You keep flowing.
You keep flowing,
You
right?
keep flowing.
You have to do things and just like sort of, because at the end of the day, especially for us in real estate, what do we really control? I mean, dude, almost nothing. Like, we control ourselves, and we control
paperwork,
sort of.
Yeah, not even 100%.
Kind of.
Yeah.
You know, kind of, sort of. You know,
we control the where the paperwork is going, not necessarily.
Sometimes. Like, not even, dude. I don't even know if I control that anymore, bro.
Dude,
I thought I did. I don't control anything, dude.
I feel you. I'm working on a new construction.
Fuck,
and
man.
they're writing the contract instead of me, so I feel you.
But you know. And I don't think it's a negative, but the real estate has taught me that. When I was in the fitness space, I'm not gonna lie, I sort of love that space because when it's just you and your body, you have full fucking control.
Yeah.
You have full control, dude. Like,
100%.
I do this happens. I do this happens. If I don't do this doesn't happen, right? It was just a very controlled environment, very scientific. A plus B equals C. Real estate, dude, getting in the real estate game, it's like so many fucking variables, dude. Like, it's like, I don't even know, dude. So my whole point of all this is being present. You just have to realize that especially in this real estate industry, in this game with a lot of different industries, fuck, you don't really control anything. No. It's like, all you can just do the best you can.
Yeah. And it comes back to faith in God too.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I know you're a big believer on that, and so am I.
Absolutely.
Is keeping faith in Lord.
It's all you can do,
right?
man.
So when you have that and you're being present, that is the ultimate form of gratitude you could have too.
Yeah.
Right? So like, you're always just like content, right? Because going back to tying yourself to the outcome, if you tie yourself to the outcome every time, your life is going to be ruled by the outcome.
And it's a pain in the ass.
That's depressing.
It is depressing.
It's a roller coaster of emotions, and you forget everything.
Because when it goes really, really good, you're really, really up, and then if it goes really bad, then you're really, really down.
Yeah.
And it's tough, especially when you have, especially if you're kind of an achiever mindset. It can be very fucking challenging, right? Because you want to achieve, and you want to conquer, and you want to win, and you want to do all these things. But, dude, it's just letting go. So I'm talking to myself when I say all this. Like, for me, I think for me, it's letting go. If I can let go of the outcomes and just do the work, just do the action, but not have any sort of be neutral about the outcome.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm more productive that way.
Yeah.
And way happier.
Yeah.
Way happier.
Yeah, because you turn into, like, not necessarily a machine, but you start operating at way more optimal levels. Mm-hmm. Right? You're a lot more productive. Right. You have a lot more of an effect on what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Right? And so just being present, dude, that can literally change your life.
Yeah.
It can literally change the quality of your whole life.
Absolutely.
Is being present.
100%.
And I think that's the biggest leading factor to happiness.
I agree.
You know, a lot of people talk about, depression, this and that. And so I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I forgot who wrote this, and I mentioned this on a previous podcast before, but when you think about the past, it leads to depression.
Right.
When you think about the future, it leads to anxiety.
100%.
So that's why you're supposed to just
because both of those, you can't control any of them.
No.
Right? You can't control the past. It's already fucking happened. And most of the time, I think they've done scientific studies. You try to remember, and like 80% of what you remember, what comes to your memory is not even fucking real. It's like, because the way your brain works, you piece things together. Yeah. So it's all bullshit anyways. And then everything in the future, dude, you have no control of it.
No.
I mean, I think it's good to have a vision, right?
Yeah.
But that's a more of a positive thing. But I think most of the time, as humans, when we think about the future, it's always what bad is gonna happen.
Exactly. What's bad is gonna happen, what's good is gonna happen, like where are we gonna go, right?
Yeah.
And so it's crazy because even with that being said, I was talking to somebody, and they were telling me that I've lost my friends, or I didn't do good things and this and that, and so I don't think they necessarily said that they're suffering for it now, but they're like, I did this and I did that, and I got a weird energy off of it. Like, this person really felt bad for the things they did, but they are hesitating to be good now because of that. Right. And I had to tell them, I was like, dude, just be present and don't focus on any of that bullshit.
Right.
If you did something wrong, just make it right. You
Yeah.
still have time. That doesn't define who you are.
No, and I think that's a very key point. I mean, you can't go back and what they say, be a Monday morning quarterback, right? And go back and try to fix everything that happened. I mean, it is what it is. And being present, man, fuck, dude. I mean, how hard is this, right? So especially in the world that we live in, with so many, distractions with technology and social media and that, but plus obviously the things that you have to accomplish in the career and the work, and then you got family and you got girlfriends and boyfriends, and it's a lot of shit to keep up with.
Everybody has it, man. And and I think it all boils down to, again, being present in the moment, and then something really important that I think you said, and I want to really touch on this, is having other goals that aren't financial.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Like I think it's important to have personal goals.
100%.
Goals for your family.
Yep.
Goals for your time spent with loved ones.
Absolutely.
Goals for your fitness, your
Absolutely.
health.
Yep.
Right? Like we talked about health being non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Like you can't negotiate your health.
Right.
Like that's that's not gonna happen.
It's exactly 100%.
Right.
100%.
So with that being said, let's be present. Let's write down goals that are more goals than just financial, more personal, more whatever. If you have a hobby, if you want to learn how to play guitar,
right.
if you want to learn how to organize data in real estate, if you want to fucking become a better agent. Right. These are all goals that you can focus on without having the financial aspect of it.
Of the outcome,
So when you don't reach a couple financial goals here and there, you have a couple other goals here and there that are going to offset and make you feel good. Well, hey, you know what? I hit these goals. It's okay. That's going to come with time because I'm not tied to the outcome.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
and at the end of the day, is trusting the process, right?
Yeah.
You gotta trust everybody has you gotta trust your process, man. And that's something like I'm preaching to myself. You gotta trust the process.
You definitely have to trust the process.
100%, man.
And so with that being said, I think
it's a quick one today, but it was a good one.
It was a good one. It was heat. I felt like we were both super engaged.
Intentional.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
We were. Did you talk to Ramon, by the way, with Takedown 2?
Yeah, he sent me an invoice. I'm gonna order shirts today.
No way.
Yep.
You're going through Ramon?
Yeah.
Ramon, I told you I'd give you a shout out, bro.
What up, man? What up?
Ramon was like, hey, I better have a 20-second shout out on your podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. So
Yeah.
Takedown 210, the boy Ramon Flores. Blake just ordered shirts from him. I ordered all my shirts for him. For everybody watching, this is a Lululemon hoodie, and Ramon went ahead and put my logo on there.
That's clean, bro.
And Ramon also does the jerseys for the San Antonio Spurs.
Shout out to the San Antonio Spurs.
Shout out
Ramon.
Pop.
Yeah.
Shout out Ramon, man.
What up, man?
Big shout out to Takedown 210. This is a great podcast about being present. Any last words before we go, sir?
Man, stay focused. Be intentional. Be present, especially with your loved ones. That's the most important thing.
Agreed.
And man, let's finish the week strong and let's finish 2020 strong going into 2021.
Let's get it, y'all.
Let's go.
Appreciate y'all watching. Peace.